Hi, I'm author extraordinaire Lisa Weiss Sparrow.
And I am W.R. Franklin, author also, and I'm extraordinary too. And this is the I'm Just Saying podcast, and this might not, we haven't figured that part out, but, so I can put that down. Hi, Lisa. Mona. This is Lisa. I call her Mona because Mona, Lisa. I'm a nerd. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So let's start off. Tell me about your. You said you're an author.
I'm an author.
Tell me about your authorism. Your authoritativeness.
My authoritativeness.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll go with that
one. I have 2 books out. The first one is His Eye is on the Sparrow. Can we see that there?
Yeah.
We can see that there. Okay. And it is about my life as a mentally ill woman. And I am very raw. I'm very open. Basically, it's a no holds bar kind of book. It's pretty good. You should read it.
I should check that out. Probably.
Yeah. And here's my second one, Blindsided and Ambushed. Can we see that there? Here we go. Better picture.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Better picture. Blindsided and Ambushed. And it's a detailed account of an 18-month journey I went on after a childhood friend tried to kill me. And I mean, you got to just, as a little spice to life.
That's right.
Yes.
What did you do this weekend? I almost got killed.
Almost got killed. And it details what happened after that and the journey I had to go through, losing a job, becoming homeless, still having a child to raise. So, yeah.
You had a lot going on.
Yeah, I had to go through rehab. So everything that you take for granted at 41, knowing how to brush your teeth, do your hair, get dressed, couldn't do.
I have a question.
I hope I have an answer.
So, and this probably is irrelevant, but you said you had to relearn all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So was it not in your head?
I couldn't do it.
Oh, so you knew what to do. You just couldn't execute.
Give or take. Some things, yes. I had to learn how to write all over again. And if you see my penmanship now, which of course you have, everyone's like, oh, you write nice. But it's not as nice as it was pre,
everything else.
Yes. And then 13 months after that, I was in a domestic violence relationship, and he tried to kill me. And then, so I thought I was going to go back to work, and this happened 4 days after I turned 41. So February 17th, 2011. And I thought I was going to go back to work in May of 2011. And didn't have a job. That September, I found out that I had cancer. And November, so 11/11/11 is how I remember, was my first cancer surgery.
Oh, okay.
And we ended up in a homeless shelter. So, yeah, it was a very interesting.
You need a hug? That's a lot. That's a whole lot of stuff. That's a good amount of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in 18 months.
In 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So all that is the second book.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Blindsided and Ambushed.
So can you give me the gist of the first one?
My life as a mentally ill woman.
Right.
And just how difficult it was. And by no means am I cured. A lot of people think that because I wrote a book about being mentally ill that I'm cured. I'm not cured. Okay. I'm not cured. It takes a lot to maintain medication, talk therapy, and knowing what my triggers are. Mm-hmm. So, those are things as well. And then to have a safety plan.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you said as a mentally ill woman, see, outside looking in, I'm like, she doesn't look like a mentally ill woman.
I get that a lot.
but because, and that's no diss to anybody who's mentally ill, but it's like you don't. It's probably gonna sound horrible, but when you think of somebody who's mentally ill, I don't know if everybody, a picture pops in my head of, you know, what you've seen or what you experienced or witnessed or whatever. It's not this.
No, I get that a lot.
Okay.
I get that a lot. I went, this is many, many moons ago, where I went to do a partial inpatient program. And the intake social worker was like, "Are you sure you're mentally ill? You're too pretty."
Well, see, that's not what I meant.
No, well, I'm just saying, but like to me, okay, to me, I was offended.
Yeah, I was about to say that's kind of a foul thing to say. Like,
it's a very
oh,
foul
you're
thing
too cute to be doing.
I'm like, so I have to look like a mud duck in order to qualify for, this program?
Right.
I mean, ultimately I got in, but to me, it was, how dare you?
Right. It's, and I'm definitely not sticking up for the person that said that, but it's like a preconceived notion thing. Like I said, it's like, well, going from what I've seen or interacted with or whatever, it's like, I wouldn't have given you that you were mentally ill. Right.
And most people are not going to notice unless I'm in an episode. And even if I'm in an episode, you might think, oh, she's just having a bad day. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's, as far as writing, what's next on your agenda?
So, I just finished my first children's book, and I've been requested to write a children's book for several years at this point. I just didn't think that it was a good idea. Or not a good idea, but I just didn't see myself as a children's author.
Okay. And
I'm like, well, what am I going to write about? And so it was just one day we were at my daughter's house and the subject came up and everyone's like, yeah, that's a great idea. And your oldest son was like, I want to do the illustration. Yes. So now we're waiting for the illustration to be done. And I'm kind of excited about it at this point.
When I read the your notes for it, and I was like, okay, I can see that. That's gonna be pretty cool, and I could see little kids liking it. I can see that.
Okay.
Now, is that because I see maybe like kindergarten, that level? Is that what you see for that, or younger?
I'm going to say definitely elementary school.
Okay.
Definitely elementary school. So
okay.
I'm open at this point. I don't have any preconceived notions as to.
That's my line. You stole my line. Preconceived notions. You guys heard me say that first. Okay, go
ahead. I'm open. Okay. I'm just open to the experience in the ages.
Okay. All right. And as far as any other projects coming up?
I'm currently in school.
Oh, okay.
So that's taking a lot of time right now. But in the meantime, I'm still making notes for 3 books.
Oh.
Yeah.
3 new books?
Yes.
Not including the kids' book?
No.
See, I didn't know it was 3.
Yes.
I thought it was just one more, like part 2 of Blindsided.
There is no part 2 to Blindsided. It's part 2 to
part 2 to the first one.
Yes, His Eye is on the Sparrow. There is I've been requested for almost as long as the children's book to do an erotic romance, and
yes, could make sense. Yeah.
That jails.
We bought it does. We bought the baby a book and this porno at the end. So go ahead, yeah.
And a murder mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, I know her. So, here's my question.
I hope so.
Yeah, we met.
Yeah, time or two.
So, if you're gonna do if you do a murder mystery,
Mm-hmm.
that's like a big jump from these, because these are just straight
Autobiography-ish. Yes.
And then the other one, is that going to be your first fiction work, or aside from the little kids, the murder mystery? Wait, those three. Or
Okay, so the sequel to His Eyes on the Sparrow is because I've had a lot of people request a sequel to My Life as a Mentally Ill Woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how many emails and inboxes I get about people like, oh my God, thank you so much for telling my story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm glad somebody else understands. I thought I was the only one that felt like this.
Mm.
The murder mystery is, you know, it's a good thing about being a writer. You get to kill off your exes. Or kill off anybody who you don't like. So, you know, it's gonna,
I haven't reached the murdery part yet, but yeah, I get that.
Oh, but you will.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know. I'm young.
And then the erotic romance is a combination of fiction, nonfiction.
Okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for your information.
Well, thank you for asking.
Hey, no problem.
So why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me about your book? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for asking. Oh, sweet of her. So my book is called Urban Contemporary, and I'm gonna pull a U because I'll go, can we see it? Is it clear? Or should I just show you the shirt?
A little clear on the shirt.
A little clear on the shirt.
Okay, yeah. A little clear.
Okay. But Urban Contemporary is a book I wrote in 95. I started in 95. Okay. Or did I finish it in 95? It was in late, second half of the 90s. Anyway, and it got published in 2000. And I wrote that by hand on a stack of legal pads, like that big. And
nice.
I would write it in it every day at work, and people would go, I don't see how you do that. How could you write a book, and how could you stop and you're not finished? I'm like, the story is in there. I had to get it out. And this is not for Walgreens. It's for Wayne, or WRCWW. My children said it's a Walgreens hat. They want drugs. So whatever, man. So it's the story of a DJ who lives in Washington, D.C., and he's my spiel. Seems to have everything he wants. He's got the cool DJ job. He's got the luxury car. He's got the beautiful wife and the high-rise apartment. And then he meets the woman of his dreams 5 years after he's been married.
Plot twist.
Plot twist, yes. And this is based this is based on true events with some artistic licensing. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. I need to eat soon.
Yes.
But yeah, it's and the funny thing is, when I wrote it, and when people would read it, they go, "This is about you." I'm like, I'm not a DJ. I don't live in Washington, D.C. anymore, and I don't have a Mercedes and this, that, and the other. But
so, did you used to be a DJ?
I worked for a radio station.
Okay.
Because I lived in, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and when I lived in Dayton, I worked for this brand new R&B station, U92, and that's where I got the idea that the lead character, his name's Chuck DeVille. You don't even know where that name came from because I haven't told you, and it won't be here. Anyway, Chuck is he's number one DJ in Washington D.C., urban DJ in Washington D.C., and I worked at radio station, and a lot of the things that, like the technical parts of his job, things he did behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. I learned that when I worked at the radio station.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. And then the female lead was my girlfriend that I had when I lived in, well, it was in Virginia, but it's all the same. When I lived there, and I kind of wrote the book about, like I said, it was true events mixed in with fiction, and it all seemed to come together, and people seemed to like it.
Okay.
But when I got it, I stuck it in a, I had it all written out. I got it printed out. Well, yeah, printed out, and it was sitting in a shoebox under my bed.
How long did it sit there?
3 years, something like that. Something like that. 3 years. 3 years. Yeah.
3 years. It
'Cause
happens. It happens.
Because I didn't know what to do with it. Because I wrote the book and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So I'm asking people at the radio station, and people are like, the guy that I did the radio show with, he's like, oh, turn it into a comic book. I'm like, you're not listening. You're not paying attention.
I've read the book, and
Yeah,
that's not
no.
comic book
He didn't even know.
material.
He hadn't read it. He's like, we're just making a hip hop comic book. That's not what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So a certain person who shall remain nameless, I was in a bookstore with, and she points to this sign that says "Get published today," and we looked it up, and I wound up getting published, and I got published in November of 2000, and that was my claim to fame. I wrote a book, yeah, nothing more, because I did no promotion, because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no promotion. I didn't know. I mean, I did go to a book club. One of my coworkers' mom had a book club, and they read Urban Contemporary for their club, and then they had me come to their meeting, and I got to read, and they got to ask me questions, and I was like, "This is very cool," and that was the end of that, because I was like still in 2001, so nothing happened.
So your 25th year anniversary is coming up for Urban Contemporary.
Yes, November.
So do you have anything planned? I mean, are you advertising? What are you doing?
Well, there's a lot. My current PR person / is doing a lot to put me out there, because with your 2 books, you did a lot of promotion, a lot of to do whatever, and I did nothing, and so she's helping me get out there. I've been doing radio. Online interviews, podcast interviews, things like that, and we're gonna have a re-release in November.
25 year anniversary re-release.
And
you said your PR / and you didn't say / what?
My PR / boothang.
Boothang.
My betrothed, my.
Betrothed.
See, I'm snooty. I'm a writer, and I can say things like betrothed. You can't. Anyway, but no, Mona is my person. We've been saying that's the thing. My person here.
My person.
That's right. And no, she's getting me out there, teaching me what to do, and helping me keep the low self-esteem at bay, and yeah, she's working on getting me out there. Go ahead. No.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay, so I've read the book, and I
Have you?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Who knew?
From Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon.com.
And we'll provide the links.
Definitely.
And this is a bestseller, okay? Because you're writing about the failure of your marriage from a man's perspective, and we as women don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
We only know, typically most books are written from our perspective and our pain and our hurt and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this is written from a man's POV, this is a bestseller.
I'll take that.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a bestseller, and have you considered doing an audiobook or
Yes.
Okay.
Working on the audio. Well, I just have to go do the audiobook because I've got the studio and all that. I just have to go set it up to do it.
Okay.
And working on the screenplay. I'm a screenwriter. I've written a few movies, and
well, have you just written them, or have they been published? I mean, not published. Have they been made into movies, or are they just screenplays that sit in a shoebox like your book?
No, three of my screenplays have been made into films.
Okay.
Once the screenwriter's done, that's the end of his responsibility. That's all I'm saying. But
is it hard to give your baby away?
Good God, yes.
Okay.
But I learned, and that's why a big part of why Urban Contemporary wasn't made into a movie yet, because the people that wanted to do it, of course, I'm gonna say, okay, it needs to be done this way because I wrote it, and this is the vision for it, and like Chuck and his wife live in a penthouse in DC. There's a penthouse. I mean, there was this big building downtown Columbus, penthouse, and I said, that's where we need to shoot this. This is what we need to do. We'll talk to the people. We'll talk to the manager of the building. We'll talk to people that live there. Hey, how much would you charge for us to shoot in this? Blah blah blah. Now we can't do that.
There's always going to be naysayers.
Yeah, but this is the people that were going to make the movie. Now we can't do that. But that's
there's always going to be naysayers, because you have vision and you know what you want. But I mean, like, I would love for Blindsided and Ambushed to be made into a movie. But for me, I am more of a blank canvas. I'm a clean canvas. I know how I would like for it to end or have clips of in it, but in terms of, it's got to be like this and I want that, I'm more open.
Right.
I'm more open to it just because my experience in movies is typically behind the scenes.
Right.
And, I love being behind the scenes. I love being on the big screen. And you can catch us in When Three Become One by the amazing Mark Cummings at A Walk on Water Entertainment. And I play the nurse, and he is Concerned Citizen
number 2. My car is in it more than me.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. Yes, Scarlett is in the movie a lot more than me.
Yeah.
So that's part of my claim. I'll take that. Not to jump subjects.
Sure.
But that's how we met.
Absolutely.
On the set for When Three Become One.
Yes.
I didn't want to go. I didn't want to, because I did sound. I've never done sound. I didn't want to do sound. I didn't want to do anything, but I was also going through my second horrible divorce. No? Okay. So, Oz Leon, I've worked with Oz since 2000, I believe. And he asked me if I wanted to run sound, and I said, I don't know how to run sound. And he said, I'll show you how to run sound. So, taught me how to run sound. We were on set doing the shooting the movie. And one Sunday morning, I want to say it was a Sunday, we finished a shot, and it was a location. We were in a school, but it was made up to look like a hospital, and or doctor's office anyway. And
hospital, because Nancy she slept all day because she was in bed all day. Remember?
Was that the day?
That was the day.
Was the same. Okay.
Was the same
Oh
day.
yeah, because I had the Batman T-shirt on. Okay. So we finished the shot, and Oz and I are getting the equipment to move to the next room, do this next shot, and this woman walks by in scrubs, doctor scrubs, and I was like, innocent, Oz, who's that? He said, who? I said, over here in the blue. He said, oh, that's Lisa. I said, Lisa who? Is she one of the extras? Is she one of the actresses? He says, it's Lisa. I said, you said that. Lisa who? He said, the clacker. Does the clacker. I said, no, her. in the blue, not, no. He's laughing. He's like, that's Lisa. I'm like, that is not Lisa. That's not the clacker. But the Lisa I was used to had her hair pulled back in a little bun, and she was the clacker, and she was the dirty jokes and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, and I was like, that's Lisa. What is she? What happened? And so
you didn't know I had a scene that day?
No.
Oh,
that's why I was like, well, who is she?
Because my hair was down.
Right.
Had makeup on.
Right.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I immediately, like, before she did her scene, I had my camera and I took a selfie, and she's grinning, and I'm doing this because I'm like, what's that? Right. So we go through the whole summer and everything, and, you know, joking, laughing, ha ha, tee hee hee, nothing. And then one day Oz calls me and says, I think you were over there to meet somebody about your books or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he calls me and he goes, so Wayne. I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, so Lisa thinks you're cute. I said, clacker Lisa? I'm like, really? And he said, yeah, do you care if I give you your phone? Absolutely, do it. Do your thing. By the way, I was already moved out. Like I said, I was already moved out and had an apartment and a dog. I had everything. I was already out when this happened.
Yes.
So
yes.
And
I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah, because after I thought about it, I'm like, I should probably throw that in. So
my
wife dropped me off, and then I'm picking her up. We were pretty much inseparable the rest of the
set.
The time we were shooting.
Yes. And it's so funny. I love when you tell our story and how we met. And I mean, we spent the entire summer together, and so let me be clear here. So, when there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into making up a movie that people don't realize behind the scenes, and the meetings and who's doing what and what you're supposed to do. My official title is production assistant or PA. I prefer clacker girl. It drives Mark crazy. And at our last meeting, but the first one that he attended, and he's sitting there, and you could tell he's nervous. He doesn't know anybody.
Oz hadn't shown up yet.
And and the meeting had started, and he's making these comments, and I'm rolling, but he never looked at me. So,
I honestly, I don't think anybody was paying attention to the stuff I was saying, since I'm just like mumbling and
and I'm laughing. And you looked up, and I stopped and put my head down. But you are so funny, and you are so funny. And I just all summer long, I would look and I would be excited when you were there and disappointed when you weren't, and you would leave early because you had to get your babies, and and I was just like, And so it was a lot of fun, and and then because I never thought this would be where we end up. No. I was like, I'm out of his league, or he's out of my league, and
nerd 0. But had we hadn't gone. No, I was like when we went to the store to get ice or whatever.
Yes. We went to sort of get ice. And I forget, that's my job. That's part of my job. We need this, we need that. It's my job to go get it. And he was not doing anything. I said, hey, why don't you come ride with me? He didn't know where he was going.
All right, where are we going? And we went, and we were talking, and That's when you had the smaller truck,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
we went to Meyer and was picking stuff up, and I'm just like, she must need me to carry something. I'm guessing she bought me a bottle of wine, and I'm like, I told her I was going. She bought me a bottle of wine. What was that about? Why would she do that? And who knew?
I knew.
She knew. I had no clue. I had no idea.
None. None. I couldn't have bought him a vowel.
Right.
I mean, it was
And because
a dot to dot,
what?
draw the picture.
Yeah, like
a map.
right. Nothing. I'm like,
no airport lights,
nope.
nothing. Just
I'm sitting
over.
there like holding the boom pole like.
And so wait a minute. So I even was rubbing on his beard. I'm rubbing on his beard. He leans into it.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't have attention. I need attention.
Oh.
I'm not getting no attention. And I was like, huh? Sorry. But I was like, yeah, I missed the whole thing. Missed it all. And yeah, one thing led to where we are now.
Yeah. The weekend of your birthday, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was on vacation.
And we were texting back and forth.
Yes. And the rest is history.
I honestly don't remember anything else about my birthday that weekend.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I remember. I was on vacation with my best friend and her children, and we were just having a ball. And you had your children that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have children. Mine are grown. They're married, and with their own families. So I remember you said you had your children and you took them back as I was coming into town. So it was your time to take them back as we were coming back into town. And yeah, I remember we talked the entire weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And my best friend, her name happens to be Lisa as well. And she was like,
it's not her.
I mean, I can't be my own
right,
best friend,
right,
but yeah. But Lisa was like, Lisa had come to the set a couple times, and she was like, "Yeah, I knew it." I was like, "Really?" And as best friends of 30 years, we're going to be able to look at each other, do a hand gesture, and we're going to know what the other person is saying or what we mean. And when I was rubbing on his beard, she was across the way, and we were doing our deal. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. Because he was like, well, would you have ever said anything to me? No, sir.
Yep. It would have just been like, all right.
Yeah. We had a
good
time.
run. It was a good
it
run.
Was, yeah. And thanks, Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Oz. So, I mean, and, here we are now and going strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and I'm so grateful for you.
And I'm grateful for you.
You are, and I'm going to say this publicly, he is everything that I have ever prayed for. Everything. Yes, you. Yes, you. You are everything I have ever prayed for in a man and more.
See, that would be all cheesy. But, no, and what's funny, I didn't know a lot about, like, dream boards and all that stuff and manifesting and all that. I'd heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it. And I remember, I'm a big journaler.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was,
Me
going
too.
through a lot, so I had to get it all out. And I remember I found it one day, and it was, I printed it out for whatever reason, and the title was What a Wayne Wants, like, Christina Aguilera. But it was What a Wayne Wants. And I basically said, I had all these different things as far as what's going to make me happy. And when it got to the relationship part, it was, I want somebody to love me exclusively. I said exclusively, passionately, and constantly, who will allow me to do the same for her. There was more to it, but that was the gist of it. And that's you. And I had no idea. And, the whole falling in love thing, this is a pretty romantic book. So I was huge romantic sap, but after the divorce, or that whole process, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was not expecting any of this.
No.
I was like, there's no way. No. I was just like, you never know, man. You might meet somebody else set. Right. That's no. Who knew? But
Right.
yeah, you're pretty much, you are everything, and I I laughed because of what I was getting ready to say. I was like, she's got it all. She's the whole package visually, and
Baby.
up here, and all this, and and here, and it's like, it's one of those things like, okay, this is I'm being punked because she's not real.
You thought you were being punked?
I was like, it. You can ask Oz when we were first dating. I think I said, is something wrong? Like, is she all right? And he's like, why? I'm like, cause she feels like it's about me. He said, wait, no, you're fine. I'm like, no, people don't feel like this about me. I feel like this about people, but people don't feel like this about me. I'm regular old nerdy movie geek Wayne. People don't feel like this about me. And I for a while I was like, see how long this lasts. We'll see. And it hasn't stopped.
No.
And that's, after a while, I'm like, she really feels like this about me.
Yes.
Me.
Yes. You are the best part of my day.
You were the best part of my day. You make me smile. You make me laugh. That's the best. I enjoy laughing.
You make me laugh all the time. And don't let us be tired.
Yes. Yes.
Don't.
Or let us visit Mr. Bobby. Then it's just straight giggles. That's an inside joke. We may give it to you later. Not right now.
Not right now.
My son knows who Mr. Bobby is.
Yes, the youngest son.
The youngest son. But right. But yeah, I can't say I was expecting any of this.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Because you said you had decided you were done too, right? That you were giving it up.
Oh yeah. By the time we met, I had gone to Aruba, and it was a girls' trip with my cousins, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to go on this set for the summer, and be Lisa, and cut up like I always do, and just go to school, have fun, enjoy my grandchildren. I'm a grandma. Love being a grandma.
Her grandkids are dope.
Thank you. And that was it. I had no preconceived notions of anything, and I figured, best case scenario, we'd have a couple of dates, and I didn't want it to be just a couple of dates, and I was like, it'd be nice if it was more.
Mm-hmm.
But at no point did I think it was going to be this, and I'm so glad. I heard this years ago by Reverend Dr. Lance
Martin Luther
Watson.
King?
You know what?
You said Reverend Doctor.
Well, yeah.
Martin Luther King.
Or Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. That's right.
And
God, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry.
And he said that God reserves the right to bless you by surprise. And this was definitely
that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because again, I had told, like, I had a friend, CJ, and we would hang out and go to this bar and sit and talk and whatever. And I remember being in there going, I quit. I said, and she's like, you quit what? I said, I just quit. She's like, no, you can't quit. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I ain't doing this no more. I've had quite enough. No more for me. I'm full. I had no
good.
desire.
Yeah, I was good. No.
I mean, you had to it would be nice, that type thing. And that's what it
Right,
was.
right,
I
right.
said, all this stuff all of this romance or whatever I have, I just pour it into my books.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where I was. Again, I mean, I was focused on school, going to work, being a grandma, traveling. Me and my baby sister, we traveled a lot. And that's the whole thing about it is, I'm like,
Oh, we're also fans of Snoopy.
big fans. And he goes off on the hour.
Yeah.
And the other noise you might hear a lot of bumping around is Zippy the
Zippy
turtle.
the turtle. Yeah.
He's an aquatic turtle.
Yes.
That I found in my cousin's driveway. It will be 14 years in May.
And he was this big.
He was literally the size of a bottle cap.
And now he's the size of an iPad.
Yeah. He's not quite.
Well, he's
that
almost
big.
size of an iPad.
He's about this big. Yeah. He might be about that big. Yeah, you're right. So and sometimes I let him. Did you see that? I'm like, I don't know. I gotta do it again. What's it? What are we? I don't know, but we did.
That's creepy.
I did like this, and then I did like this, and
then heart showed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm officially scared. Just so you know,
that was a little freaky.
And I was like,
"Yeah, that was a little."
We're not live. How do people see this? What is happening?
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. I don't have.
All right, Siri. That's what it is. Siri and Lexington got together. Throw some hearts at them.
We're gonna teach them something. Is this live? This isn't live.
No, that's why I was like, where these hearts come from?
Okay.
That was a lot right there. But enough about us. No, I'm working on a screenplay for Urban Contemporary, working on the sequel to Urban Contemporary, and I'm working on another book. I don't even know how you would describe that one. It's basically journal entries and blog posts, but it's all around kind of the same broken heart being Wayne type thing. So that book I'm working on, plus the sequel to Urban Contemporary that I told myself I would never write until.
To be fair, it was me and Nicholas that day.
When?
After your first.
After the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But I was doing it. I was coming from a place where I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. But since this one was based on true story, the sequel wouldn't be based on a true story because I have to continue that story until somebody said, well, why don't you just fast forward however many years and go from there? And I'm like, nobody's going to, that will work.
Yeah, that's exactly how that happened.
Because I wanted to make I was working on a TV show. I wanted a TV show like Insecure, the way that was set up. And I was writing that script. And we kept talking about it, so I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do a sequel and do this TV show. So I'm just going to do the TV show. And then I was like, maybe I'll just make that into a movie. So I'll write the screenplay. And then she pointed out, you could just combine those because all the stuff that was going to be in the TV show is basically like now however long going forward. So that's coming out.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
I'm pretty excited too.
Yeah.
And screenplay for
Blindsided
and Ambush. And yeah.
We have a lot of projects. We have a lot of things that are in the works. And this is our podcast. We will have guests. And it'll be us, just us sometimes. We'll have guests. And it's a show about nothing and everything all at the same time.
Let's see. Modern day Seinfeld. Actually, kind of, but not.
Just us.
Yeah, just us.
And we'll
babbling
have guests.
and feeding off each other.
We do that a lot. We do that a lot.
We are adorable, and that hashtag will be,
we are adorable.
Everywhere. We are adorable.
Trendsetters.
Trendsetters.
We are trendsetters.
And we're also humanitarians.
Yes.
We do it for the people.
And we're the people
We're the
who do
people
it
who are
for
doing
it.
this one
Yeah.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
at this point, yeah. Okay, have we run out of things to babble about?
It's us, absolutely.
Probably
not.
never, yeah. But
no,
I need
that's-
to eat, or you'll be sitting on here talking to them, and I'll be laid out on the floor, as my friend
Which is
Don would
fine.
say, flopping around like a fish.
And
So-
I'll throw a blanket over
No,
him,
that-
thinking he's taking a nap.
That's sweet of you.
Oh,
That's
I
sweet
thought
of
so. And you know what? I'll even do you a solid because we don't have carpet. I'll put a pillow under your head.
you. Oh well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me and Zippy
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
office floor.
Or I can get Jackson and he'll put a.
He will. He'll cover me up. That's my man.
And give you
And
give
give
you a
you a pillow.
blanket.
Mhm.
Yeah, pillow.
And then dive on me
And yes,
Yeah.
while you're trying to
while I'm
sleep.
asleep. Yeah.
And laugh about it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And to be honest, he's only 2.
Still, so we had the same mentality.
That's
That's why we're friends. Me and Jackson. He calls me Wing, and I'm good with that.
Yes.
Is that Wing? That is Wing. Hi, Wing. I'll be Wing. I'll be Wing.
And if I show up, if I go in the door first and they don't see him, or if I show up and he's not with me, where's Wayne? Not hi, Grandma. Where's Wayne? They all do.
But I did an experiment. I went in first. He says, "Where's Grandma?" See, so it's just they see the package. That's all.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's true. But we are diabeticals,
Yes.
so we.
Hence me flopping around on the floor if I don't get some food in me
Yes.
soon.
Well, me too. But I have to cook, so not a problem. It's going to be simple. We haven't been feeling very well, so thank you for coming to our podcast. We appreciate it.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Hopefully next time we'll have a real name for the podcast, if it's not that one. And
And let us know what you think.
yes, please do.
Give us some subject
Yes.
matter, and hey, if you want to be a guest, also let us know that.
And I will definitely make sure that all our links are up so you can check out the books and check out the us
Yes.
and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Arrivederci.
Toodles.
Bye. Go away. Oh,
I was
'cause
gonna
it's not a
say
touch
it's not
screen.
touch screen, yeah.
it's the